Welcome everyone, Scott G here with the Simple Trading Life, and we are here on a Wednesday going live early. Hopefully a lot of you folks are either on lunch break or have some free time. I have some stuff going on this afternoon and I did not want to miss a live stream 2 days in a row, so I decided I would go ahead and go live early today. And let me bring this up. It says at least somebody's here, so whoever's here, welcome. In fact, if everybody will wait just a second, I'm going to go ahead and post the link live. We are live on YouTube at join us. So if everybody gives me just a second, I'll post this. And we might get some folks to join us. There we go. All right, so let me get back over here. Yeah, now it says we've got some folks joining in, so welcome. Again, we're going live early today because I've got some stuff going on this afternoon, and I was gone yesterday running errands, so I missed yesterday's live stream, and I did not want to miss 2 in a row. So I was thinking maybe I'll go on early today, and maybe I'll catch some people on their lunch break or just relaxing at home. You know, obviously we're kind of at the midpoint of the day, entering what I call the dead zone, which is sort of that time between 11:30 and noon to about 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. or so. And that's, typically, obviously not always, but typically the volume decreases. You'll see price action start to chop. You know, like we've seen this pretty strong move to the downside here. You know, typically what will happen is you'll see price just start to chop. Sometimes it'll even go into a contracting range until it gets closer to that 2:30, 3 p.m. range, and then volatility starts to pick back up. So anyway, let's go over what we have had today on ES. So the first thing we want to do, so we want to go back over here and we want to look at the overnight session. So this was the first candle on the overnight session. And if you watch this, I'm going to draw the opening range. And I'm not trying to be perfect here. I'm just trying to get it kind of close. I want to show you how long price respected that opening range. Look at that. Is that not amazing? Okay, from 6 p.m. yesterday until 4:30 p.m. 4:30 a.m. this morning, we literally ranged in this opening range. I mean, other than we barely poked out here, we poked out there, other than that, everything is inside this range. Okay, now the good thing about that, now if you like to trade, I know several of the people in our simpletradinglife.com community are from all over the world, and some of them do trade the overnight session because that's the daytime where they live, right? So we do have several people that trade the overnight session. If you are somebody who trades the overnight session, this is not ideal, right? I mean, it ranged all throughout the night. Okay, it's not ideal. It's not that you can't take some scalps off of there and make some money. You can. But when I say that the action overnight was a good thing, look what it's led to. Look at this. Okay, I saw a lot of people pre-market kind of saying, hey, it's going to be a dead day. We're not going to do anything. And maybe they were kind of basing it on this. But look what happened. We kind of broke out. Then we blasted up here. Okay, so from 3,200 up to 32.33, so 33-point move basically. And then we immediately dropped down here to the 20. came up, dropped again down to the 20, came up into this resistance area, formed a shooting star, and then we got a drop. Now, the drop wasn't smooth though. Look at this. We dropped to this level, the 3206 level, caught a big bounce, then we had this big red candle, and now currently we're trying to bounce again. All right, we broke through this little zone here. Now, this was not a strong demand zone, and those of you who understand supply and demand, you'll know why. We left the level in a strong manner. Big green candle, medium candle, small. We ran out of steam, then we rolled over. We left it in the right manner, and that's why when we got close to it here this first time, and anybody who was watching this candle live, you'll know what happened. It came right to the top of it and it bounced in real time. It came to here and it bounced. In fact, it got way back up here near the 20. Then bears regained their strength and pushed on through, and then went as low as 31.92, and I was watching the volume, the ladder, and when price action got to 31.92, there were a ton of orders sitting there. There was actually a lot of orders at 31.93, and there was even more at 31.92, so it was no surprise that we caught a bounce there and started going back up. Now, what am I talking about? Anybody who's new, you may not have any idea what I'm talking about. This is the ladder right here, or the DOM, the depth of market. Okay, so I trade off of this when I'm trading standard contracts on ES. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about there. Now, whoops, I went to the wrong thing. Okay, now, over here, once we caught that bounce, we came back up, and we retested the bottom of this, and it actually bounced again. So again, if anybody was watching this in real time, it came right up to the bottom of what was a zone, a demand zone here, which acts as support. And once it had broke through, it came back up, and it bounced, and it actually went red again. It bounced right there, came back down here and went red again, and then pushed back up through, and here's where we're at currently, right here at the 3206 level. Now, this level is officially broken, right? Because we closed below it, and now we're even trying to come back through it. So this level is broken. Now, let me again go back, and I see we had several more people join us, so welcome. Let me go back and explain why this was not a strong level. And again, those who understand supply and demand know what I'm about to say here. Although we left in a strong manner, typically what we like to see is it drop in a real strong manner. Candles, like this would be ideal, but you're typically not going to get that. But maybe some candles like this right here, 2 or 3 of them in a row. Then we base, okay, this is our base, these 2 candles right here. Then we leave in a strong manner. We left in a strong manner, but we just sort of were kind of ranging along here, and then just barely dropped down in here, based, and then took off. So that's why it wasn't a very strong level. So even though, basically this one didn't get quite there right here, but still caught a big bounce, because you're not always going to hit it right to the tick. But this one here, when it did catch a big bounce, and then it came back down through. But typically, if you have a strong level, so if you have a drop, base, rally, and it's a strong level, and it's the first time it's touched, you'll get a bounce, and it'll be a big bounce, and you'll carry momentum the other way to the next zone or resistance area. So hopefully that makes sense to those of you who are watching. Now, let's go back. I want to take a look and just see. Let's go through some of our, if I can get to it. There's our list. Let's go through some of our watch list today and see if anything is playing out. We've been pretty good with the watch list lately. And when I say pretty good, I mean it's just based on certain setups and triggers. That's all. So it's not that I'm good at picking things. It's actually quite the opposite. I try to take any bias I have out of it, and we're only using certain setups and triggers. All right, so here, this would have been a good one. This is, whoops, I'm sorry. I have to get the symbol up first. All right, sleep number. Now we'll see, was it good or not? Yeah, okay, so this was good. Our trigger was 52.28, and we've been as high as 54.74, so that's like almost a $2.60 move, and then it's slowly, fading back. But we opened right here. Okay, this was an inside candle, so any gap and go above, which is exactly what we got, you're entering right away as soon as it's going that direction. And it moved about almost $2.60 to the positive, and even when it started coming back, if you got out at $2.25 or $2, a $2 move on sleep number going to pay you very, very well. Okay, so that was sleep number. Let's look at net gear. NTGR. All right, net gear. Okay, same thing. The trigger would have been here. This was an outside candle. So the trigger would be the break of the outside candle. And that was at 25.68. And we've been as high as 26.48 or 49. My eyes are really bad. I have a hard time reading small stuff. So not quite $1, but on net gear, $1 would pay you. $1 would pay you on net gear. All right, now look at all these hammers we had, and that was because of the price action yesterday. So we'll see if any of these did anything this morning. I warned the room you have to be careful with hammers when you have a lot of them based on the day's prior price action, because, right, they formed basically because of the price action, not necessarily because it was a great setup. So you got to remember that. And so here on Amazon, nothing. We've had no trigger. Okay, the trigger would be taking out the top of the hammer here. And as you can see, unless something changes, we may end up forming an inside candle today. So there was no trigger, nothing to do on Amazon. Let's go to Baba. See, a couple more people have joined us. Welcome. Everybody, if you're new, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We would appreciate that. Okay, now Baba, it gapped up, but you can see it's been coming back down through. It tried to go up just a little bit. Let me get a little bit closer here so you guys can see this. All right, so here's where it opened, and it tried just a tiny bit. In fact, I can tell you, it went up $1. Okay, it went $1. Now, when it came back down through, there's a trigger to go the other direction. So 21.48, and it's been as low as 246.54. So that is almost $5 the other direction. There's your good trade. Okay, now you wouldn't have known real time, right? It would have opened and it would have poked up $1, and then as it reversed and came back through, you would have exited, and if you're a price action trader, you could have re-entered when it went red. Right? That's a price action trade. Sometimes you can get two trades on the same name. Next one's Baidu, and typically Baba and Baidu act very similarly. So let's see what we got here. All right. Open never went up. Okay, you see that? No wick. That means it never went up. It gapped up and just went straight down. So in theory, there would be no trigger there. Okay, we only take that trade by price action if it starts to go up first and then reverses back down through the range. So it gapped up, but it never went. So there was no trigger to go long or short there. Now, somebody who was aggressive, they might have wanted to try, maybe right here, it breaks this level, which you can see. I can tell you right now, I have not changed the levels on Baidu in as long as I can remember, and look how they're still respected. Look at this, to the tick here and almost to the tick there on one daily candle. But when it came back through, somebody might say, hey, if I break 126, it's 126.12. So, hey, if I break 126.08, I might try a short and maybe try it back to the 20 or something like that, you know, or try it wherever, right? Wherever. But by our rules, there was no trigger one way or the other. It gapped up, but you only enter if it goes your direction. It didn't. And typically, we only take it back through the range, so if it would go up and then reverse and come back down through. All right, so Baidu. Next one is Crowd. Let's take a look at Crowd. These were all hammer-like signals. Nothing, no trigger, because we haven't taken either side out. Okay, it's forming an inside candle like Amazon did. We have Lake. Let's take a peek at Lake. And you see what most of these names are doing is they're following the market, right? The market is down for regular trading hours, and most of these are red. This is an inside candle, no trigger. Here's your hammer. So ideally, you're looking to take the top of it out. But inside candle there, no trigger. That just means nothing to do. Okay, Microsoft. Probably going to see a lot of commonality here. We'll take a look. Whoop, I went too far. There it is. All right, so we did get the move to the upside. We gapped up. Let me get closer for you. We gapped up and went our direction. So we opened at 209.56 and we went as high as 211.32. All right, so that's actually a couple dollar move, right? Almost a couple dollar move. Then we reversed, and this is one where then you could take the two trades. When it comes back through, down through opening price and starts to go red, you enter again. So say 209.50, and it's been as low as 205.03, I think it says. So that is over $4 to the downside. So you could have caught a little bit to the upside and then caught a nice move to the downside. So that would have been a nice one on Microsoft. Netflix. I've seen a lot of chatter on Netflix today. Now, once regular trading hours start, I don't pay much attention to social media or what people are saying, because then I like to trade what I see and what price action tells me. I don't know what the chatter is all about. There's really nothing to do. Nothing to do on Netflix. I've seen a lot of people kind of chattering. Now, it looks like, let's see here. We have earnings tomorrow. Okay, so not getting any kind of a big ramp or fade pre-earnings right now. You see that? Just not doing anything. So earnings tomorrow on Netflix. Remember that. Okay, TTD. This bad boy has been giving us a lot of good moves lately. Let's see if it's done anything today. Not much, not much. Okay, again, now, but these candles can be deceiving. So we had our initial move to the upside. It opened at 437.76 and it went as high as 443.99. That's a decent move, right? That is a little over $6. Then it reversed and came back down through, and you see it went right to the 20. When it went back down through, your trigger the other direction, 437.76, and it went as low as 424. I think that says 80. So that's a good one. $13 move. $13 move to back this way. So $6 move up, $13 move down. Trade Desk has not disappointed lately. Alta is our last one off of our watch list today. And we'll see Alta. Okay. We gapped up. Okay, gapped up. It went down and then back up through and then back down. So your trigger is opening price 199.05 and it went as high as 204. So almost a $5 move. Now you wouldn't have caught all five, right? Because once it went up and then started coming back down, you would have figured out a place that you wanted to exit. But if you made $4.50 or you made $4 or anywhere around there, that's a great great trade. Okay, so that's Alta. So Alta did give us the gap and go. Okay, it tried to come back a little bit and it couldn't. Pushed up right to one of our resistance levels. Okay, right to one of our resistance levels, and then it's kind of pushed back down. But that upside move of about $5, even like I said, even if you caught $4.50 or $4 of that, those are great trades. All right, so watch list again. There was plenty of winners on the watch list. Now let's go back and look at ES, see where we're at. I apologize that it's moving a little bit slow. It's not too bad today. Okay, so you see what we did. I'm going to get a little bit closer, make it bigger for you. Okay, you see what we've done. We went up. Then we came all the way back down through. We made this lower low. We made a higher high and then a lower low. So what does that tell us? Okay, those of you who are from my room, right? Expanding range, broadening triangle, right? Because we're making the range bigger. Price, okay, see how we were ranging along? Then we went up, made the higher high. Then we went down and made a lower low. Okay, we're broadening the range. We're expanding the range. Now, does that mean this is the bottom? We don't necessarily know, but we can start to look, right? So here's what we did have. Let me see if I can draw this in for you. We have had momentum to the downside pretty much all day. So what we're going to do, get that kind of like this. Okay, there we go. All right, so you see this right here? From that point down, okay, momentum has been trending down all day. Even with these spikes back up, momentum overall has been down. All right, so until it gets back above here and starts to climb, you have to, I hate to use the word assume, but you have to assume that the market is still relatively weak. Okay, and that's how it's been playing out, right? So we came down. Now really, let me show you this. And I told some of the folks in the room today about this. It's not the easiest to trade, right? It's not the easiest to trade. Even though the trend is down, we went from here down to here, back up to here, down to here, back up to here, down to here, back up to here, then flushed down all the way over to here, back up, and then we've been down to here. Okay, you see that? Even though we're steadily moving down, you see all that whipsaw back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Lots of people get chopped up by that. And that means they end up taking bad trades. They get in a trade and they try to stay in it too long. That's really the mistake. Okay, so if we use this as a teaching moment, the mistake in a market like this is staying in a trade too long. There are plenty of opportunities in a market like this to make money, but you have to be in and out relatively quickly and you have to have really conservative take profit targets. Okay, I hope that makes sense to everybody. Because we've had a steady move. Okay, so from 32.33 to a low of 31.92, that's $41 approximately. So we've moved down, right, over $41, but look at the vacillation. Down to here, back up to here. Down to here, back up to here. Down to here, back up to here. Down to here, back up to here, and now moving down again. That is really difficult to trade if you're trying to stay in for a long time, or if you're picking longer range price targets. So I told the room, SimpleTradingLife.com community, I told the room I really felt like price was going to go to this level today. 3,200 to 3,204 is what I called out in the room. I said and that's when price was up in here. I felt like we were going to get down here. Well, we did, but look what happened along the way. All this chop along the way, even though we're steadily moving down. And one of the main reasons I gave is look down here. Look at the momentum. Momentum has been down the entire time. From, let me see here, from this candle. Right here was the turning point. From this candle, momentum has been down all day long. Even when you get these spikes, all you got to do is look down here. See this? That's all you got to do. Right? That's just one indicator, one factor, right? Because we don't use this like it's traditionally used. But until we see things start to change. Now I'm going to take this off here now because this is no longer a valid area. I wanted to leave it on just so you guys could see. And then let's go back here to the left. Okay, we're still trying to get through this gap. So from here up to here was the gap that we're trying to fill. And that's 31.8575. So 31.8575. I'm going to show you where that would be. Right in here, right about where my cursor is now, that would be filling the gap. What typically happens when you have a big gap, let me show you. I'm going to squeeze this up so you can see it. Okay, what typically happens when you have a big gap is you can take this and divide it in half. So let's just do it. What did I say that was? 31.8575 and 32.04. 82 would be 18 and 04 is 22. But then I have to minus 75, it would be 21.25 divided by 2. I'm really bad at math quickly in my head. Would be 10.6750, something like that. So let's say 11 bucks, just to make it easy. All right, so $11 on that would be 96.75. You'll probably be amazed here. I'm being sarcastic. All right, I can come over here and do it easier. Let's get in closer. So we already know that half of the gap is 31.9675. 31. I'm going to do this, and then I'll adjust it to make it so you can see it easy. My computer battery is going dead. I'm not plugged in right now. I've been using my computer not plugged in a lot this morning. That's my fault. So let's do this really quick and then I'll let everybody go because I want you to see how this works, because it works like this a lot. See this blue dashed line? That's exactly 50% of the gap. Where did price stop and bounce? Look, right there. I mean, it poked through, but look where this candle closed, look where this candle opened. Okay, look where we've come back down and bounced again, 50% of the gap. When you have a big gap, typically price will try to fill and it'll make it about halfway through and then it'll catch a bounce. Sometimes it will bounce and continue the same direction it came from. Other times it'll bounce, regain some strength, and then try to break through and finish filling the gap. Will that happen today? We don't know. We don't have any idea, right? We just know that right now the trend is to the downside, and momentum is to the downside, and trend is to the downside. So until something changes, until we start breaking levels and getting back up here and start making higher highs and higher lows, the trend is still to the downside. Just know that this dashed line right here, that's 50% of the gap this morning. 50%, and look where price stopped, right at 50%. So anyway, hope this helps you guys. We've been on here for about half hour or so, but I have some stuff I have to take care of today. I wanted to make sure that we did a live stream today. So if you guys are brand new, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications bell, and check us out at simpletradinglife.com and click on the free chat room button, and you can come join us. Everything in our room is entirely free, all the content, and we'd love to have you in the community. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the room. Bye-bye.